Member Fisher or
John did. Aye.
I'm going to take kind of a middle view on this, which is, as Edna and I have discussed on a number of occasions, under the current way a charter is formed, which you're correct, we have no control over that, I do not favor that policy. I've expressed this to our members of the legislature, that I think that there's more than enough reason that they can take existing municipalities that already have ward lines drawn, and you could elect a charter using the same format as you elect the council. And there's no reason that they couldn't. The legislators that I spoke to said, well, that's true, you could do, that there's no reason that you couldn't, but of course, that's as far as it goes. As much as some of those things sound rather large, I think there's also a misconception about charters, that they give you a lot more authority than what you already have. You're bound by state law, under statutory form of government. If you have a charter, now you're under home rule. Folks, if the law director's here, and I've heard him go over this on a number of different occasions, he says that statutory home rule cities have the same legislative authority as a charter home rule city. And we'll go back to the chairman's traffic cameras, because this is something that's very pertinent in the news right now. The state of Ohio has no particular code or statute at the state level determining whether or not you can have red light cameras or speed cameras. So if you're a charter city, you have the home rule authority to put traffic cameras in, as you do as a statutory city. The state of Ohio is now looking at a statute banning traffic cameras and speed cameras. If that comes to fruition, then the exact same thing happens in the inverse, which is that whether or not you're a home rule statutory city or a home rule charter city, neither one of you have the legislative authority, because our home rule authority, charter or statutory, is based essentially, or not essentially, it's based in totality on the state code. If the state says we have the authority, we do. If there's ambiguity in the state code, meaning that they don't say one way or the other, as a general rule, you have home rule over these. So what you have, at least in my opinion of it, is not to use an analogy, a charter form of government is not a new house. It's rearranging the furniture in the house that you have. Mm-hmm. We still have the same legislative authority. We still have the same financial issues that we would before, but we can rearrange the way we do city council. We can rearrange the way we do the administrative branch. As you said, you have the ability to replace elected officials with appointed officials. So, and none of that's good or bad in and of itself. But it doesn't, obviously, I think this idea that this gets us out from underneath the state, and it does not. That's my feeling on charters. But I will say to the chairman, just as a member of the committee, if I could, I do believe, however, that we should sign this out to the council, and that council members should be able to vote it up or down, and that we'll send it to the elected representatives of the city. And if the council as a whole decides to put it on the ballot, and the city elects a commission, which again I've long had concerns with how that commission would be formed, but if they do and they enact the charter and that charter is accepted, then we'll live by their decision. I don't think that we should simply decide that we're not going to vote on it once we have legislation done. That's my opinion on it. The rules as they stand now certainly give you the authority to do that, Mr. Chairman, and I respect that. But as my opinion would be, I think we should bring it out for a vote, and I've made my feelings known on the legislation in and of itself, but I do believe that we should vote on it as a council.
Let me just for the record, let me show you. Have I said to anybody that I'm not sending it out?
Absolutely
Yes.
not.
Did I say that to anybody that I am not taking it out?
Absolutely not, and I'm just weighing in that.
Did I ever tell you personally, did I ever say I was not taking it out?
You said, quote unquote, I am not going to sign this out until the community is educated.
Correct.
Therefore, what are you as an individual going to
Correct.
do to ensure that 70,000 people are educated?
I think the education's going on right now, Mr. Frank Morris.
It is
I
wonderfully,
think
but
Gail Beck did an excellent job. I think Matt Rake did an excellent job in really laying it out this time, actually better than they did when Smucker introduced it. And I'll tell you what, I'll give Smucker a lot of credit, because when he brought charter government down, he did a thorough job of educating people before he put it on before we voted for it.
and
He went down, and this was before 2010, because 2010 is when Butterworth brought it down. And Butterworth did not bring it before the people, and he did not educate anybody. He just put it on the floor for people to vote on it. So the only debate came back was from people from the audience in reference to charter form of government. So let me be very clear. As a chairperson of this committee, I am assuring that we're going to have some education, and I think that's going on right now. And I think it's been going on. And we did a big article in the newspaper not too long ago. But I think today was a first step in moving this forward. I didn't think that it had to be, as soon as you come down here, the same day you have to sign it out. That's not a chairman's role. If that's a chairman's role, you don't need a chairman. All you need to do is just send stuff up to the law department. When things come to the chairman, they're supposed to dissect, they're supposed to research it, and then come back, and that's what committee meetings are all about. So I want to be very clear. That was not the intent, but we're going to slow it down, and I think Edmund did a great job in mapping out why he wanted to bring this forward. And we're not talking about a piece of legislation to do something in your ward. We're talking about changing our structure of government. And I think that's important for the public to know. And if you, for some reason you don't think so, I think that's a problem. Because we're going to put it on the ballot and they're going to vote on what? Something they don't know. And that's not right.
That's what they vote on right now, things they don't know.
It's not
We
right.
conduct business here 90% of the time, the general public does not know what's going on. A charter government,
right?
as in Kevin's words, is nothing more than rearranging the furniture in the house, correct? If it's my house, I should be able to put the furniture any damn place I want. Now, if we're going to educate our constituents about it, then we have to have a good feeling about it. Edmund did a great job.
For changing our government and putting it before the voters next election. You're saying that there needs to be no education
Sure.
before they can vote on it.
Sure, right. We need to educate them before we change their government. Not our government,
Amen.
their government.
So educate them is important, don't you think?
And I think that we're moving in the right direction. But that's not what you said. You said, quote unquote, when I feel. You said,
That's a change.
I.